Hey guys, it's Michael Udall here. I play Flex for Gale Force Esports. Here's just my profile a little bit. I'm a Grandmaster player. I've been playing Heroes of the Storm probably for 2 years, on and off. I've been playing competitively for 2 years at least, maybe 2.5 years I've been playing the game. Pretty much every single season I've gotten Grandmaster. I am a main Flex player, so that means I play pretty much all the heroes in the game. Except I would probably say your main tank, someone like ETC Muradin, and your support, or your like main supports. Today we're going to be doing a Cassia guide. I actually really love this hero, and I'm excited to give you guys a lot of really good information about her, because I don't feel like there has been that many guides or a guide that I've seen out yet, and I feel like she's really strong, and you're going to see her a lot in the meta. So first off, let's talk about pros and cons of the hero. Cassia, in my opinion, is the ultimate anti-auto attack hero. So you know how you have someone like Lily, Johanna. The way you used to counter auto attack heroes was with blinds from Lily, Johanna, heroes like that. Now Cassia has this avoidance talent, which is built in 65% physical armor. From if you're moving, so that's like pretty insane. If you're able to effectively move and auto attack, you're pretty much unkillable to someone like an Illidan, a Greymane, since those are really strong meta picks. That just automatically makes her a strong hero. Let's say your enemy team picks tank support, and then their 3 damage dealers are Greymane, Illidan, and Zul'jin. How do they kill you, right? All of their damage is based off auto attacks, and this avoidance talent pretty much makes you a raid boss to them. So this hero, like, one of her biggest pros is that she can directly counter auto attack heroes, kind of like how Superstition and Nazebo used to do the same thing with mages. That's basically one of her biggest strengths, is countering auto attack heroes. She also has really good splash damage. A lot of her a lot of her spells do a lot of AoE, as well as, I'll get into the talent build later, but this Charge Strikes talent is so good, and it just does so much AoE damage. So her Q, we'll just kind of go over her kit real quick. Her Q is like a little javelin. We'll hop into try mode. Her Q is a little javelin she throws out, and you'll see if you hit the enemy, it'll split. So I mean, that's just kind of like basic gameplay. I'm just going to kind of assume everyone knows her abilities, and I'm just going to kind of talk where she falls in competitive play, and what build I use, pros and cons, when you should pick her, and what heroes synergize with her. So Cassia, as I said earlier, her avoidance is really strong. So if you're moving around with her, you see her shield that like lights up. That will signal that your avoidance is activated. So if you're playing against a Cassia, it's good to like look out for if she's moving or not moving and her avoidance isn't activatable. Your auto attacks are going to do a lot more damage. So let's get into it. So as I was saying earlier, she's good against auto attack heroes. Other pros, she's kind of a hyper carry, right? So she kind of falls into that Vala slot. So heroes she would synergize with, I'd probably say Zarya, just like most hyper carry, is that empowered shield. As well, if you have your Zarya, go speed at level 4 for your ally shield. Having a Cassia like 30% movement speed running at you is really scary. Other heroes that she's really good with, Oriole, kind of for the same reason. She's a good energy generator. So Oriole needs to crown a hero, and Cassia puts out a lot of damage, which will generate the Oriole a lot of energy. I would say cons. She's very susceptible to magic damage and CC comps. One of the crappy things about Oriole, how do I show my auto attack range? She has really short auto attack range, right? So you have to be about this close. You guys see me with the training dummy to auto, which is, as range heroes go, that's fairly close. Like, it's gonna be pretty easy for tanks and backliners to hit their CC on you. So that definitely is a con, would be her auto attack range. Outside of that, I mean, I think she's a very standard, like where she kind of falls in the meta right now. I think she's a very like one of your staple range damage dealers. She's pretty safe. She's really good against Greymane, who's very in the meta right now. She does a lot of damage if you get good at her. Yeah, I mean, I think she's a solid hero. Cons, I mean, the biggest one is like she has to get up close. If the enemy team is a poke comp, you're going to be sad. She is a pretty tanky ranged assassin as ranged assassin goes because of her avoidance. Direct counters, I would probably say Chromie is one of the biggest ones. Chromie is really strong at Cassia because not only is she magic damage, so your avoidance doesn't really matter, but she's also going to be hitting you from spells like over here, right? And if your auto attack range is this short, like you're just going to have to run at the Chromie and she can be able to kite you forever. Now let's get into the build. So first, I'm just going to go through my main build really fast. So this is the build I go the majority of the games. I will, after I go over my main build, just go through the variants and what things I do normally swap up. So level 1, you're going to want to go Charge Strikes. This talent is so good. Like, a couple of tips with Charge Strikes. Can I remove walls? So something to do with Charge Strikes that is kind of like pro tip is use it on buildings, right? Man, I wish this wall was dead. But a big thing to do is go to a fort and use your Charge Strikes on it. I'm just gonna die right here. But to use your Charge Strikes on forts and keeps, because the way that Charge Strikes works is the size of the model will essentially decide how far it splashes. So being able to use it on forts, keeps, buildings, anything with a large character model gives it a larger splash range. Don't be afraid to use this ability on mercs. So when you're going to do your sieges, just throw it out. It's a pretty short cooldown. Be pretty lenient with it. You should try and use it multiple times a fight. When you do it, basically you just run at the enemy and do a lot of damage. So that's going to be your level 1 the majority of the time. Level 4, I like Ring of the Leech. This talent is really, really strong. It gives you, basically when you blind someone, you heal yourself. So it gives Cassia a lot of self-sustain. It allows you to just like not only like it gives you merking presence, but it also allows you to just like sustain in team fights, which is really nice. It also combos. This is probably one of the biggest factors. It combos really well with your 7 Surge of the Light. So this talent is pretty unique. It really changes. It doesn't really change Cassia's kit, but it does give you another ability to activate. So the way it works is if you take damage while having avoidance up. So as you see here, I'm getting attacked by the minions and my little bar is raising. Let me go tank some tower shots. I'll be able to activate this ability. Boom. Does damage in an AoE. The way that is really good with your Ring of the Leech, right? So let's get it activatable. So as you guys can see, I'm pretty chunked. So we'll wait for this minion wave to come. Let's see, we'll blind it. I mean, that's a pretty good chunk of healing. So Surge of Light is really good because it gives you really good damage, especially for being dove, which is one of the only ways to kill Cassia. It gives you good damage output. Level 10, both of the ults are good. If you're running Cassia, I think you should try both of them. I've kind of been leaning toward Ball of Lightning just because it is more sustained damage. But if I am running into a Chromie or a lot of backline heroes, I almost always go Valkyrie. It's really nice to be able to pull them in and just get a free kill. Level 13, I like Seraph's Hymn. So basically, if you attack someone who's blinded, it reduces the cooldown on your blind. This combos really well with your Ring of the Leech. Also, just you do more damage to blind targets, so it's nice to have that up more often. And then I go Martial Law at 13, or at 16. 20, I've been really enjoying Titan's Revenge, but, you know, Pleb Check, Infinite Lightning can really destroy people. I've seen in pro games, in scrims, maybe people are tired, but teams will just infinitely let this ball bounce around and pretty much kill themselves. So it could be really good depending on your elo. I mean, not even just depending on your elo. Like if people aren't like spread, like so if level 10 you're throwing your ball of lightning and enemies are just standing next to each other, I think this talent can be really good. Otherwise, I think Titan's Revenge is really good. So now we're gonna go over the other. So that's just my standard build, right? This is what I go 90% of the games. Talents that I do change up occasionally. I don't think Q at 1 is bad. So I've seen people run this talent a decent amount, and I think it is okay. Personally, I just feel like Charge Strike is almost always better. But if you want to play with this talent, I think it can be okay. After you hit the 40 heroes, it is pretty nice to have the double charge of Q. At 4, I do think Play to the Whale. This talent is really good. Wait. No, I'm insane. Scratch that from the record. I think Inner Light is really good. So basically, if you get stunned, you will cast a blind on yourself, right? So let's say Varian, or not even Varian, Muradin steps up, hits you with the Q, you'll blind on yourself. I think that can be really good. Just because like blinding on top of yourself, if they have something like an Illidan, plus like let's say Tyrael, he's judgmenting you, that can be really good. 7, I almost always go Surge. I really don't think either of these talents are even close to as good as this. Like I said, Valkyrie is really good at this 10 talent tier. 13, I think Slow can be good, as well as Thunder's Vigor. If you do go Q, I think like Q build at level 1, you should be going Thunder God's Vigor at 13. Both these talents are good. Like just having more Q uptime is nice. I just personally prefer having the blind uptime over the Q uptime. 16, I think Pierce can be really good. Having the 4 Q is really strong. And as I said, Infinite Lightning is really good at 20. If you do end up going Valkyrie at 20 though, guys, I would say you should go Titan's Revenge. This Imprisoning Light is really not that good. So I mean that's kind of my Cassia guide. I went over talents, a couple neat tricks. Remember, guys, if you use your Charge Strike, you should look to hit the forts or the keeps. All in all, I think this is a really good hero. In your Hero League games, you should be looking to comboing her with someone like Zarya or Oriole. She's really good into a lot of melee heroes. Like I said, you have short range, so if they're diving you, she's a really strong hero since you just pop your Charge Strike and watch them all die. I hope you guys all enjoyed my video. If you did, please follow my Twitch channel. I stream at twitch.tv/MichaelUdall, or follow my Twitter. It is Michael_Udall. Also, please come support our team, GFE. We play in the HGC. And yeah, much love. Udall dabs in chat. There's no camera, but I'm dabbing for you all. Thank you guys all for watching the video. If you did, please, or if you watched it, please comment, tweet at me, let me know what you think I should improve. This is my first video guide ever, so go easy on me. But thank you.